The Grand Conclave had convened for the first time in 3 centuries. Representatives from thousands of species gathered within the rotating citadel of Sailbis Prime. The chamber, a shimmering dome of crystal lattice, rang with the hum of translators and the sibilant exchanges of empires. In the center sat the Table of Accord, a vast circular structure said to be older than most civilizations present. Every interstellar pact, every treaty, every fragile peace had been negotiated there. For millennia, it had symbolized compromise. Humans had been late arrivals to this tradition. Barely 500 years ago, they had stumbled into faster-than-light travel, loud and stubborn, their fleets scrappy and their diplomats insufferably bold. Many had assumed they would fracture quickly, but they hadn't. Humans thrived at the table. They spoke relentlessly, argued passionately, and yet always returned with solutions no one else thought possible. Where the Krelt demanded tribute, humans offered trade. Where the Vaith hissed threats, humans cracked jokes until the tension melted. More than once, it was humanity's stubborn refusal to accept inevitability that pulled whole sectors back from war. The table had never been so lively. It had also never been so effective, but this session was different. Everyone felt it. The humans entered silently, faces carved with grim resolve, their usual irreverence stripped away. Their representative, Ambassador Ilaram Beki, took her seat without ceremony. Her colleagues, a mix of admirals, philosophers, and economists, remained standing. The galaxy leaned in, confused. The Vaith delegate, whose eye stalks flickered with curiosity, broke the silence. "Humans," he rasped. "Have you no proposals today? The disputes in the Loran expanse demand settlement." Ilara rose slowly. "There will be no proposals. There will be no negotiations. Humanity is leaving the table." For a moment, the chamber forgot how to breathe. The translators hesitated, unsure if they had parsed her words correctly. When the meaning settled, murmurs erupted like thunder. "Leaving," barked the Krelt warlord. "You cannot leave. Every species is bound to this accord." "Bound?" Ilara's eyes flashed. "Bound while pirates raid our colonies unchecked? Bound while the SYTH devour refugee fleets and the Conclave drafts only condemnations? We came here believing in this table. Believing you wanted peace. But peace without protection is submission. We will not submit." A hush followed, broken only by the clicking mandibles of the insectoid Brith. What do you intend, human?" Ilara placed both hands on the table, then pushed her chair back deliberately. "We intend to defend ourselves. To defend our allies. If this chamber cannot act, then humanity will. Alone if we must. This is our final attendance." As she stepped away, her delegation followed, boots echoing against the polished floor. One by one, the humans filed out, leaving a widening void in their wake. No species had ever abandoned the table before. Not once in its long history. The shock felt less like diplomacy disrupted and more like prophecy fulfilled. The Krelt warlord snarled, but his eyes betrayed unease. He had seen human fleets. He had seen what they did when their backs were against the wall. "They will make war without restraint," he muttered. "Not war," corrected the Brith delegate softly. "Justice? Or vengeance? Perhaps both." Across the galaxy, broadcasts replayed the moment humanity turned its back on the table. Some cheered, desperate for someone to stand against tyranny. Others trembled, knowing that if humans had abandoned words, they had surely sharpened their weapons. In the silence that followed humanity's exit, the Table of Accord seemed smaller, diminished. The galaxy understood then, with a creeping dread, that the humans had not left because they were weak, but because they no longer needed permission to act. The Conclave recessed in chaos. Species who had once hidden behind human diplomacy now panicked. If humans no longer mediated, centuries of grudges threatened to spill into open bloodshed. The Vaith hissed accusations, the Krelt roared threats, and even the usually serene Illyrians flickered with unease. Messages raced across the void, probing the intentions of Earth and her colonies. Most received no reply. Where once humans would have argued endlessly, now they answered only with silence. That silence was worse than fury. For fury could be reasoned with, bargained with. Silence left only fear. On distant mining colonies, whispers spread, fleets were mobilizing. Entire shipyards went dark, their production no longer for sale but redirected inward. Convoys that once carried grain and medicine turned around, vanishing behind human borders. The Krelt warlord, emboldened by arrogance, dismissed these rumors. Let them retreat. Without the table, they are alone. Yet even he did not sleep easily. He remembered the Battle of Draven Rift, when a single human carrier group broke his cousin's armada. The Brith, cautious and calculating, saw opportunity. Perhaps, they clicked among themselves, we should align with the humans before the storm comes. Others whispered the same, but few dared move openly. Weeks passed. Skirmishes erupted in border systems. The SYTH raiders struck again, devouring defenseless convoys. This time, no human envoys arrived at the table to beg intervention. Instead, they arrived with warships. The first engagement was over Cygnus Gate, where SYTH marauders had pinned down a refugee flotilla. A human task force of destroyers appeared, their hulls black and unmarked, their arrival announced not with words but with fire. The battle was short and merciless. No quarter was given. Survivors described human ships fighting as if each gunner's hand carried centuries of frustration. When it ended, not one SYTH vessel remained. The galaxy watched in horror and awe as the footage spread. Humans no longer sought compromise. They executed justice without permission. At the next conclave, the absence of humans loomed like a wound. Delegates debated whether to sanction them, but none volunteered to enforce such a sanction. Who would dare? The Illyrians, usually detached, offered a chilling observation. We mistook their patience for weakness. They were patient because they hoped for peace. Now they no longer hope. Across human space, production surged. Civilian factories retooled into armories. Fleets multiplied, bristling with new weapons. Humanity was not preparing for defense alone. They were preparing for a campaign. Still, there were voices among the stars who cried out in admiration. At last, said the oppressed Jar clans, someone acts where the conclave debates. They petitioned for human protection, pledging loyalty in return. Others recoiled in terror. The Krelt warlord dispatched spies, desperate to know the scale of this rising storm. None returned. The humans did not answer questions. They did not issue demands. Their silence became the drumbeat of inevitability, echoing through every council chamber. The table had always been a place of words. But the humans had carried those words like torches into the dark, and when no one followed, they set the torches down and took up swords instead. The galaxy began to fracture. Alliances shifted, borders trembled, and ancient powers weighed whether to oppose or appease the species that had walked away. And in the quiet heart of human space, fleets gathered like storm clouds, waiting for the order that would prove once and for all, humanity had not left the table because it was broken, humanity had left because it was too small.